Hello guys, thank you very much for tuning in. The topic of today's video will be the payment methods, how you can purchase the property in the Philippines, and I will walk you through my experiences, the methods that I have used, and I will tell you my stories, what I did, so that you don't have to do the same mistakes. Anyways, before I begin, I just want to throw there a disclaimer that I'm not a financial advisor. Before you do any sort of investing or buying a property, you should do your own research. I'm just sharing my own experiences, my thinking process, decision process, which led me to the decisions that I made. And I want to share with you also my mistakes so you can learn from them. So when you're buying a property in the Philippines, the main option, and many of the sellers actually demand one payment method, and that is a cash. And cash is the king. And by cash, it's not like you are used to, because when you say in a developed country that you are buying a cash, the payment is made from your bank account to an attorney, or at least that was the process that I used, when I was buying my property in Europe. I would make an agreement with the seller, we agreed on a price, we signed the paperwork, and we had an attorney. I would wire the money to an independent account which was under the governance of the attorney, and he was supervising this account or the money that I sent over there until the conditions from the seller were met. And once they were, the money were released and the seller received the money. And that way we would ensure that the buyer and seller, they are both protected. In Philippines, it's different. It is very different. First of all, there's no such thing as a registered real estate agent. There's no such thing as a lawyer that would help you to buy a property. At least I didn't come across one. Maybe there is one. I'm pretty sure that in Manila or in bigger developed cities, the process is more streamlined and controlled, but in the area where I was buying the property, it was kind of wild west. So let me I'll get to it later. So anyways, the cash method in the Philippines means that you make an agreement and you sign the agreement or deeds of sale with the seller, and the seller is supposed to give you at this point the title. If the property is titled, the owner will give you a title of the property, which is something like a certificate of the ownership, government issued certificate. By giving you this title to your hands, physical original of the title, then he's expecting that you will pay cash for the property, even though there's 3 to 9 months process ahead of you to get the property under your name, and there's 110,000 other things which can go wrong, which would either make the transfer of the property under your name impossible or significantly delayed. The delayed will be the better option. That was my case, but it's very risky, because you may not be able to get a title under your name because of various reasons, which I will describe either in this video or maybe some other ones. So in Philippines, cash is the king, and when the seller is expecting to receive a cash, it is a cash. You take a backpack. If you are buying a property for 100,000 euros, you give him a cash equivalent in a pesos, which is one backpack full of paper banknotes, which I did. We actually went to the bank. You make no appointment, nothing. If you go to the bank and just say, hey, I would like to take out 100,000 euros, equivalent in pesos from my bank account, nobody's looking at you like you are crazy. It is a normal thing. Okay, so they will bring piles of cash, which they will count in front of you for 15 minutes. And I have a video about it, I believe. So if I will find it, I will edit this video and I will insert a section how the bank tellers are actually counting 100K in the bank. And once the counting is finished, you will handle the cash to the buyer. The buyer puts it in a backpack and walks out of the bank. It was just mind-blowing. When I saw it, for my wife, it was normal. I was speechless. I couldn't believe my eyes. I just was recording with my cell phone what was happening in front of me. I didn't know if it is allowed, to do it in a bank, but it is just experience that I will never forget. How in a bank you just, take out 100K in cash. You will handle it to a person which you see the first time, and I guarantee you the last time in your life. That person walks away, and in exchange they will give you a piece of paper, and you are hoping it is real, it is not fake, it is accurate. And the process of moving the property under your name just begins over there once you are cashed out. Okay, that's what I did. You don't do it. Don't be so silly. Okay, as I was. In my case, luckily, it went through with issues. But anyways, that was the risk I was willing to take, because the property for certain reasons was priced below the market price, and that's why I was willing to take the risk, because if it was priced at the market value, then I couldn't afford it. So that was the risk I was willing to take, and it paid off. But if I repeat the same trick twice, 3 times, I guarantee you I will get burned. So I just be aware. If you end up buying a property, maybe that's the only option that the seller will accept is the cash. But just be careful, because there's lots of risk associated with it. And then the second option would be, which is a popular, is financing by the owner. For whatever reasons, the Filipino, they don't like banks to be involved in transactions. They don't like to take loans from the banks. If you need a loan, you take the loan directly from the owner of the property. And by the loan, I mean that you pay down payment, and then on a monthly basis, what you agreed on, you are paying, monthly payments until you reach the agreed price. And once you reach the agreed price, the property will become yours. Again, extremely risky procedure. The seller can change his mind. When you are 80% paid off, or he's 80% paid off, he can change his mind, walk away. You will never find the guy. Good luck going through the legal process. Something happens. You are not able to make a payment. Again, deal is off. You lost all of your money, and forget that the person will return the money that you already paid. Just walk away. You don't know if the seller didn't sell the property twice or 3 times the same way, and there's other 3 people paying the same property. Which I wouldn't be surprised if this is happening. I'm pretty sure it has happened to at least a few people over there. And then even if the person is honest and has the best intention, what can happen, especially if your payment plan is a couple of years, the owner can die. You know, there's accidents, there's health issues, there's age, there's cancer. Any reason, you know, can cause the seller to stretch his or her legs, and you are done. You lost all of your money. But anyways, I've used this method as well in the past, and I will go into the details maybe in another video. But anyways, I have done the financing method as well, and I do believe that I got extremely lucky, because 2 months after the payments were finished, the owner died. The property is still not under my name, but the property has been processed, and at this point, even though the owner is dead already, the process should not be affected. Is that going to be a case? Yet to be seen. I still don't have the title in my hands, and until I do, I'm facing the risk that the money that I paid went just up the chimney. So I do not recommend this method. This is something that I did. You should not do it unless you are willing to take the risk as I am. So definitely not recommending this method. Anyways, the person when we were buying the property from, the lady was already diagnosed by cancer stage 4, which was not shared with us. We were lucky enough that we agreed to the payment calendar for 6 months only. We paid, I think, 50% in cash as down payment, and then the next 6 months, you know, paid off the rest. But if that person died a little bit earlier, I would be screwed, and this video would have a completely different title. It would be called "How I Lost All of My Money Because my property owner died before got a chance to transfer the title under my name." So anyways, this is the financing by the seller, which I would say is not that common. In our case, we were lucky because, well, lucky. We will see if we were lucky. But the agreement was that there was no interest that we would pay monthly. It is possible, and it is very common, that if you do the financing by the owner, you will have to pay approximately 2% a month as an extra, you know, to your monthly payment. We agreed to 0 interest, so that's why I found the deal, you know, interesting. I didn't have the cash to pay up front, and that was a property which was extremely important to me, because that property was neighboring to our existing property, which would allow us to make our property bigger. So that's why I was willing to take the risk, because this chance, you know, wouldn't have to, you know, repeat during my lifetime. So I didn't want to pass on to this opportunity. That's why I took the risk, but that doesn't mean that you should. So that's the payment by the owner. Now, my wife, before we got married, she is still paying off one property, the only property which she has ever purchased in the Philippines, and she's using a loan from a bank. So right now she is not owner of the property, doesn't have the title. The title is owned by the bank, and she's paying monthly. Apologize, I'm still a little bit sick. And she should finish the payments this June if everything goes okay. So anyways, those are the payment methods in the Philippines that I am aware of. Yeah, you figure out which option is the best for you, and you please leave me a comment down below. Have you ever purchased a property in the Philippines? What was your experience? Did it go smooth, or did you run into an issue? And if you run into the issue, what was the problem? So cannot wait to read your comments and learn a little bit about your experience. And anyways, thank you very much for watching. I think that I will wrap it up for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.